Well, hello, my friends. It's Doc Phineas, and welcome to the 55th episode of Doc Talk. And it has been an incredible experience through Santa Fe. We have just had an absolute blast being there for the months and times that we were there over this past summer. It really made our summer just delightful to have so many good times in Santa Fe and to return home with so many treasures. We're processing, and actually we had to come back to Las Vegas because Harry and I both had obligations for Pride and for Renaissance Fair. We just went through the Ren Fair, and so it really has been kind of a whirlwind experience of having to come back to our home here in Las Vegas and kind of get resettled in and, try to make sense of everything that we're dealing with now here at Belmont after the Ren Fair is over. And we've had just a great experience, really, literally great experience traveling, just mountaintop experiences as we move around the globe. And I'm looking back at this year, what an amazing experience it's been, like working at the amazing pyramids in Merida, Labna, Edsna, our dear friend James Stanley Daughtery at Uxmal, having that archaeological experience of being a part of those finds, those amazing new pyramids that were literally pulling out of the jungles. So that really was an exquisite experience. And then to go from that to being in India with His Royal Highness, the Maharaja of Jodhpur, as his personal guests, and being on the Ganges, in Hardwar, going throughout Rajasthan, seeing the beautiful things that are made, like this incredible jacket I'm wearing was handmade by the wonderful nomadic peoples of the Thar Desert, the Nath tribe, and going into the desert almost all the way to Pakistan to see those people looming and embroidering and just feeling inspired by all the great things that we saw. And then to come back and mostly spend our summer in Taos and in Santa Fe, and, in honor of one of my favorite makers, this gorgeous bolo tie is made by Eddie Bioke of the Zuni Nation. He was a dear friend of mine, made this for me in 1972. I've been out there on the road for many years collecting, looking at the best work that Native people do, and getting to attend the Taos Pueblo powwow at the base of Sacred Mountain. That was great. And then now I just have the most amazing experience in new work that I'm doing. I am, the curator to the Wyford Gallery, which is perhaps one of the best galleries on Canyon Road in Santa Fe. And the whole place is blessed by the Dalai Lama, working with these wonderful Tibetan monks at Project Tibet. And proceeds of what we're doing there go to help Tibetan refugees and Tibetan children resettle around the world. I mean, what a red letter experience. What an amazing experience that I've had this year. Just continuing this dance around the globe, being Doc Phineas and still being out there on television and as History Channel says, America's favorite professor. I hope that's true. I'll try to live up to it. So it really is just an amazing experience in life to have the opportunity to go around to these incredible places. And I just, each one of those experiences would be a gem unto itself, being in India or being in Tibet, being in Mexico and in Yucatan at the pyramids, or the opportunity to definitely be in Santa Fe, these wonderful digs I'm participating in, Chaco Canyon, Bandelier Canyon, and all the amazing new information that we have on the Tiwa people, that they've been there at that location in Taos for over 25,000 years. And all I can say, the last day we were in Taos, it started to snow. And there's just nothing like going to the kiva. And we're standing around there, and suddenly out of the kiva came, maybe 40 men dressed as buffaloes in full-on buffalo wardrobes. And they came dancing through the snow, just moving so smoothly and so slowly to the beats. And it's snowing, and here come 40 men dressed like buffaloes, doing the buffalo dance, imitating the movement of the buffaloes. I'm telling you, life just doesn't get any better than that. To get to see such things in your life are things that make life rich and wonderful and incredible. And that being said, I know it is a time for many people of kind of consternation, and people are coming to me, their lives are upset, and I know that for many people, right now is not a great time. We have this almost dreadful election this year that just has got everybody polarized and separated, and people are dealing with election. They're dealing with a lot of heartache. A lot of people have been sick that I know, and so when I return back to Belmont, it's always to the serenity of this place, which contrasts the way that we live in New Mexico, because in New Mexico we're in a place that's very modern and filled with great art by people like Tim Church and Dr. Welch and R.C. Gorman. There's a huge R.C. Gorman piece right in the center of our house in Madrid. But it contrasts the beauty of the adobe and the simplicity of the lifestyle and just a few pieces of art, and then to come back to this environment in Belmont, which is just an explosion of every culture, every trip I've ever taken around the world, and just such an amazing cultural experience. It all fits together like yin and yang. I can't quite explain it to people, but for me it makes for a great life because I have these wonderful environments, these homes that I've collected through these past years of teaching and being a professor and also being a star in TV. And so, in Key West, I own the home of Robert Frost, and it's on Caroline Street near Duval. And so it's filled with mementos from the life of the great poet, Robert Frost. He was such an amazing man. I feel so privileged. I sleep in the bed of Robert Frost. And it's been a very inspiring place to live, out in the Keys. That's an environment. And then to come back and spend time in Santa Fe, which is another wonderful, wonderful, magical place just filled with culture and beautiful adobes, and the architecture is so great, and the tremendous culture of native indigenous people there is so amazing, where you get to see Native Americans dance daily, and at night they go to the plaza and sing their songs. It's just overwhelmingly beautiful. And then also there's a veneer of Spanish culture there that's also quite wonderful. I love all these different environments, and then to add on top of that all the traveling we've been doing in South America, Central America, at all these different sites. Wow, life is just incredible and such an unfolding, amazing experience for me that I just look back on my life and all of these amalgam of people that I've met, and all these experiences just add up to this perspective on life that to me is absolutely, absolutely fascinating. So I'm thinking now to a lot of people who have reached out to me and they're like, Doc, my life is topsy-turvy right now. What is going on? Can you help me make any sense of why life is so challenging at this moment? And of course, we do have some astrological situations, and I'm always willing to look at that stuff. I mean, people may not think that's scientific, but over the years, I've found how very profound astrology can be. And of course, we have this planet Pluto that is just retrograding through everything, but really particularly retrograding through the planet, through Aquarius. And it's been in Capricorn, and now Capricorn Aquarius is going back and forth, and it's going to finally lodge in Aquarius for the next 42 years. So Aquarians, this is a moment to be really strong. I'm finding that I really had to fine-tune my life and to handle the challenges of this moment. I think certainly that. I think certainly this election has kind of sent people in a tailspin. And as you well know, I've been teaching history for 50 years, over 50 years. I've been teaching historical archaeology, physical geography, also cultural geography, anthropology, and all of these things are all in satellites around my main area of study, which was the archaeology of antiquities, the archaeology of history. And as I teach history, I'm always willing to pull out Plato's axiom. And that axiom is, those who do not remember the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. So it's very important to know history, because if you don't know history, it has a tendency to repeat itself. It's kind of like we're given these lessons over and over on Earth until humankind gets the lesson and is smart enough to be able to recognize, hey, these are warning signs. We've been down this pathway before. We do not want to go down it again. And certainly I've taught a lot of World War II history. I don't just teach ancient history, but, I spent a lot of time when I was at Berkeley, particularly on World War II, trying to learn the lessons of World War II, to watch the movement of the Third Reich, to understand how the Third Reich came, and this sense of a dictatorship on Earth, which comes and goes. I mean, the Romans had it. It's surfaced throughout history. We've had autocratic rule. Look at Henry VIII. These are absolute rulers who could just literally say, off with your head goes off. You're with me, you do that, and we've tried autocratic rulership on Earth, and it seems to come around and come around and come around. And then, now we have elections, and we are actually able to elect our ruler, and it makes for very important decisions that you have to make based on knowledge, based on history. These are the things you have to make a knowledgeable choice in life. Because if we do not learn the lessons of history, as Plato says, we are doomed to repeat them. So when you see a candidate that looks autocratic, a candidate that looks like the sort of things that Hitler did and other autocratic and dictatorship rulers, you have to really weigh that. Do we want that in our lives? Because we know unchecked where absolute rule goes. It's a very interesting moment in time, a moment that you absolutely have to vote in this election and make a very, very strong choice with your heart and look on our country, the future of our country, and the future for our children, our children's children, if we want to create a world that's free and create a world that's fair. So it's a big moment, and I see people being very polarized, and some people telling me, I will never associate with a person of that political party again. They'll never be in my house. Oh my God. What a sad, trite thing. If you only associate with people that agree with you, how can you grow? I have friends on both sides of the fence, and I love talking to them all because I learn something from everybody. I want to hear everybody's opinion. And then I formulate my own opinion, and my opinion's my opinion. I'm not trying to foist my opinion on anyone else, but I am saying, look at Plato's axiom and learn the lessons of history so we don't have to repeat them. That's what I'm saying. And with that being said, let's take a look at the cards tonight and see what the cards say in this moment, because I've had probably maybe 200 messages from people. Can you give me some guidance? Like, I don't know what to do right now. My life is on topsy-turvy. And so it's good to see a few things out there as they will. So I have been feverishly shuffling my cards here and putting my energy into them. And I like to, kind of cut them and do my own thing. And then let's see what the cards have to say. If there's any guidance for this moment, if there's any insight, if there's any kind of like indication